finals are starting tomorrow, so we're doing our predictions for every single game. We have 4 fantastic games. We have Spain, Germany, Portugal, France, England, Switzerland, and Netherlands, Turkey. If you want to hear my thoughts on the round of 16 games, then make sure you check out the video I did yesterday about that. But we're focusing fully on the quarter-finals and now. Of course, get in the comments below your predictions as well, because I will be reacting to those once the quarterfinals are done. And speaking of which, we're going to react quickly to mine and your predictions for the round of 16, see how accurate I was and you guys were. So I said Italy would beat Switzerland 1-0. It was 2-0 Switzerland. So yeah, pretty poor prediction, that one. I did, however, get the Germany-Denmark score exactly correct. I said 2-0 Germany. It was indeed 2-0 Germany. I said first player to score is Musiala. He was on the first, but he did score. I said England would beat Slovakia 1-0. It was, of course, 1-1, and then we won 2-1 in extra time. So I was right, but not quite. And I did have Harry Kane to score. I said Spain would beat Georgia 2-0. It was 4-1. So got the right result, but not the correct scoreline. Same said for France, Belgium. I said France would win 3-0. It was 1-0 France. So I was correct there, but not about the scoreline. I said Portugal, Slovenia would draw 1-1, and then I remember I said Portugal would win in extra time 2-1. I was correct, it did go to extra time. It was a draw, although it wasn't 1-1, it was 0-0, and then of course Portugal won on pens. Romania, I said was shocked the Netherlands 2-1. That was probably my worst prediction of the round of 16, as the Netherlands did in fact thump Romania 3-0. And then I said, awfully, I played my 2 times booster on it as well. I said Austria would beat Turkey 2-0. It was 2-1 Turkey. So, besides these 2, I did pretty well. I would say on the other ones. Not too bad predictions. As for you guys, so Mark said Switzerland would beat Italy 2-1. Pretty good prediction there. He said Germany would beat Denmark 2-0 as well. So exact prediction. He also said England would beat Slovakia 1-0. He then said Spain, Georgia was very, very close. He said 3-1 Spain. He said France would beat Belgium 2-1. Portugal would beat Slovenia 2-0. He said Romania and Netherlands would draw 1-1 and Netherlands win on pens. And Austria would beat Turkey 1-0. So that was some pretty good predictions there by Mark. Kensiso said England would win 3-2 versus Slovakia. Not too far off, it was 2-1. And surprisingly, they actually got Spain, Georgia correct. They said 4-1 Spain. Bang on, well done there. And I mean, they kind of ruined it. They said Italy would beat Switzerland and dominate Switzerland and win 1-0. And then finally, Sean said Switzerland, Italy 0-0. Italy win on pens. 1-1 Germany, Denmark. Denmark win on pens. 1-0 England, Slovakia. 2-0 Spain, Georgia. He did, however, get the France-Belgium score correct. He said 1-0 France. He had the same prediction as me for Portugal, Slovenia 1-1, and Portugal winning on pens, so that was a pretty good prediction. He said 2-1 Netherlands, and he said 2-1 Austria, so a couple dodgy ones in there, but he did get some hard ones correct, so yeah, well done to you guys. And make sure you put your quarterfinal ones in if you want to be in the video next time. So let's talk about those quarterfinals then. Let's begin then with the first one, Spain versus Germany. Oh boy, this is incredible. Now I mentioned in my round of 16 video that although it was a bit disappointing that, you know, the likes of Romania, Slovakia, Slovenia didn't hold on and pull off a shock, I am happy because that means that we have some incredible ties, absolutely incredible. Mainly the these two. And this game in particular, Spain-Germany, is probably going to be, in terms of quality of football, the best game at this Euros. I don't think in terms of just pure quality of football, no, I'm not saying it's going to be like a 4-4 or anything, but in terms of just like the level of play that these two teams are going to play at in this game, I don't see another game at this tournament going to match it, because both these teams have probably been number 1 and number 2 in terms of performance at these Euros, with Spain being probably the best team and Germany being the second best team at these Euros so far. They have both shown as well what's good. Great tactical flexibility. Spain, while of course they're Spain and they dominate the ball in a lot of their games, for example against Georgia where they just had like 80% possession, just pin Georgia in. They also have shown in their other games, for example against Croatia, where they allowed Croatia to have the ball and they played on the counter-attack a bit, and they were really, really good, hitting Croatia on the counter-attack a lot. So they can play both ways, and the same can be said for Germany. Germany, in most of their games, have been the ones on the front foot. They've been the ones dominating the possession. But in a lot of games, once they do get the victory or the lead, for example, in that knockout game versus Denmark, what they did very well was hit Denmark on the counter-attack when Denmark came on pause. Oh my word, that's crazy. Anyway, when Denmark were pushing and Germany did score through that, I think it was Musiala, and they had some really good breaks on the counter-attack. So I'm really intrigued to see how this game goes in terms of who's going to be the one to have the initiative, who's going to be the one to sit back. I think both teams are going to be content to do that. Although I do believe that Spain will probably be the ones who are dominating and controlling the game in terms of possession. I do think Germany will be more likely to sit back a little bit and counter-attack. So this is going to be really, really good. It's going to be really, really good. Now, Spain have had a bit of problems in terms of defensively. Like, I know they haven't conceded too many goals, but they haven't necessarily come up against some lethal attacks, and even then they have been caught out quite a bit in terms of counter-attacks. In that Georgia game, right, they conceded off the break of a rapid counter-attack because they were committing too many bodies forward. Now I think they might be a little bit more cautious in this game, but still, it's not a good sign. And Croatia also had a lot of chances versus Spain. So I do think the Germans can definitely get at Spain. However, you can also say the same thing for Germany. Germany, in that Switzerland game, for example, were getting hit on the counter-attack numerous times. And Spain are lethal on the counter-attack. Where I think I think this game's gonna come key down to is, I think they can have a lot of draw in the wings. Yamal and Nico Williams have been by far and away the two best wingers out this tournament. They have been electric, and they've cooked every fullback they've come up against. And Germany's fullbacks, like Kimmich, has had a really good tournament, but he's been good going forward. Defensively, he has had a couple shaky moments, and I want to see how he does versus Nico Williams. Same thing on the left-hand side. I don't know if it'll be Middlestat or Rahm. Again, they've been fantastic going forward, but defensively, they haven't really been put up against a lethal winger like Yamal. So I think that's where Spain are going to get a lot of joy. On the flip side, you can say the same thing with Germany, the likes of Musiala. Musiala's going to have to turn up in this game. He really, really is. And we'll see. I mean, I think he'll play, if he plays on the left, then, Carvajal's there. Carvajal will probably lock him up. So he's definitely going to play on the right, in my opinion, or through the middle. And that'll probably be the best if he goes on the right, because he'll be up against Cucurella. I mean, I can tell you as a Chelsea fan, solid player, but you can get out of him. You can get at him. So I think it's going to come down to those key individuals for me: Nico Williams, Yamal, and Musiala. But personally, I do just think that Spain are just say that's a cliche, but in my opinion, it really is, because if Spain score, like I said, first and then sit back, that's where they're going to have their best joy. If Germany score first and sit back, again, I think Germany on the counter can really hurt Spain. But in my opinion, Spain will score first, and then on the counter attack, Germany will be pushing forward, but Spain will score again and get a 2-0 victory. Yeah, I just think Spain going forward are slightly better than Germany in terms of their system, and they're going to be just really, really aggressive, in my opinion. I think Spain will score first, and I think Nico Williams and Yamal are going to have fantastic games, and I think that I think Fabian Ruiz will benefit from that, like he did in the Georgia game. He'll continue his fantastic run, but I'm really looking forward to that game. Okay, and on the same day, I mean, this day is going to be incredible. This Friday, oh my word, I can't wait for this. Portugal versus France. I mean, I say that, I mean, in terms of like heavyweight battle on paper, this is a great tie. If I'm being realistic, I can't lie, I think this might be a bit of a snooze fest. Honestly, I think it might be a snooze fest, because based on the way these two teams have played in this tournament, none of them, literally none of them, know how to attack, none of them know how to break down low blocks, none of them know how to score goals. We obviously saw Portugal against Slovenia in 120 minutes, create barely anything in that game, and all tournament really have struggled to break down low blocks. France, on the other hand, I mean, to be fair, they've created a lot of chances in a lot of their games, but they haven't put them away, and ultimately they have scored no goals from open play, a penalty and 2 own goals this tournament. So I'm not really expecting too many goals in this game, but what I will say is it's going to be very similar to the Spain-Germany game. Well, I actually think both of these teams are much, much better when they play on the counter-attack, and I also think both of these defences are not good at defending counter-attacks, mainly Portugal, but I think both of them are. So I actually think maybe these games might suit these teams, because both these teams haven't had a game yet where they're going to sit back and counter-attack. Both of them, in all of their games so far, they've been the one who has to have the ball and push forward, and that's where they've struggled. France, as we know, with the likes of Mbappe, they look really, really good on the counter-attack in a lot of their games. They've been really, really good, you know, when they've taken the lead, for example, against Austria or Poland, and they had a bit more space to work with. They looked really, really good on that break, especially with Mbappe. But Mbappe hasn't been good in front of goal this tournament. He must step up now. He must step up. They need him to. And we'll see if he does. Portugal, on the other hand, as I said, breaking down low blocks have been awful. However, they have actually not had any opportunity yet to showcase what they can do on the break. They've had a couple moments here and there, but in all of their games, really, they've never come up against a team who has stuck it on them, and they've had space to work with, and I think that could benefit them with the likes of Rafael Leao on the break. So I'm intrigued to see about this game. As I said, I don't think there'll be many goals, but in my opinion, if I'm looking at the two defences, Portugal's defence has been got at many times this tournament by Georgia, Czech Republic, even Slovenia, right? And these are not good teams. So I think France's attack, even though it's not the best, particularly Mbappe, you know, coming up against Cancelo on the right, who's been a bit shaky going backwards, I think France is going to hurt them. And I'll also look at France's defence. France's defence is by far and away the best defence at this tournament. France, even though they haven't scored goals, they have not conceded goals. And I think that their defence is going to lock down Portugal's attack, who in general can't score. So I don't see Portugal scoring in this game. I could see it maybe going to a 0-0, Dragon, it depends. But in my opinion, France's attack is going to be too much. And against France. I really don't. I think that France defence is so good, and yeah, I think France will get the job done. Right then, England versus Switzerland. So, after our shambolic display against Slovakia, we come up against Switzerland now. Now on paper, we should be beating Switzerland. This is a decent tie. However, in my opinion, this is one of the worst draws we could have possibly got. It really is. Because what has been our problem this entire tournament, very similar to Portugal, breaking down low blocks, creating chances, passing the ball quickly, breaking lines, breaking down defences. All of our games, particularly the Slovakia and Slovenia games, came up against a low block, and we did not know how to get the ball up the pitch and create chances. I think we've had like 4 shots on target this entire tournament. It's been really, really bad. And Switzerland, out of all the teams left, are by far and away the best team probably at this tournament in terms of sitting back in a low block and just defending and hitting teams on a counter-attack. Look, they did that exactly to Germany, and Germany, I've been bigging them up in terms of how good they've been at creating chances, breaking down teams. Look at the amount of goals they scored, and they had to get a 90th minute equaliser versus Switzerland. They really, really struggled to create that many clear-cut chances versus Switzerland. And then same thing versus Italy. Italy literally created nothing versus Switzerland. So this is honestly a really, really bad match stylistically for us. Now I'm hoping maybe, the way we won that game versus Slovakia might be a bit of a confidence boost for the team, for the squad, and might, galvanise us. There is thought that we might even change formation to a back 5 now, which I'm not sure is 100% necessary, because we are coming up against a Swiss side who, as I said, I expect them to just sit back. Switzerland, they did show against Italy that they can just dominate a team as well, but I don't think they're going to try and do that in this game. Switzerland are just going to be compact, rigid, and try and hit us on the counter, and they have the weapons to do so. Slovenia and Slovakia didn't really have the weapons to do it. Even then, Slovakia did manage to score. So we're going to see how our defence is going to get tested for the first time, really. I do think our defence is pretty good though, so that's one of the positives in terms of, I would be shocked if we conceded more than 2 goals in this game. There is a good chance we can keep a clean sheet. It's just I don't know if we can score against the Swiss, if I'm being honest. I think their defence is really, really solid. Yeah, I'm hoping for some changes. I'm hoping that, to be honest, I would actually like to see Saka go back to left back and Palmer on the right. I would like to see Gordon potentially come in for Foden, although I don't think that's going to happen. And in the midfield, definitely I would play Rice and Mainu, but I would like Mainu to be the deeper one, and Rice can push up a little bit more. Gosh. If I'm going with my heart is saying 1-0 England, that we managed to find a goal, like a Bellingham header or a Kane goal, and then we hold out, because as I said, I think our defence is good enough to stop Switzerland scoring. But if I'm going with my head, literally everything I've said, this is stylistically a rubbish game for us against Switzerland. This is the worst possible match. And how bad we were versus Slovakia, how bad we've been this entire tournament. Things haven't changed at all. We have not got better at this tournament. We've been getting worse, in fact, every single game. My head is telling me we won't score. And Switzerland, with this frustration, Switzerland might be able to hit us on a counter. But I'm going to say it's going to go 0-0. I'm going to say it's going to go 0-0. And it's going to go all the way to penalties. It's going to pens, this one, in my opinion. It's going to be love it. But again, I'm thinking realistically here. I remember at the last Euros, Switzerland beat France on the penalties. Jan Sommer is incredible. Incredible at penalty saving. Switzerland win on pens. Switzerland win on pens. Yeah, Switzerland win on pens. I can't lie. I really hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. Okay, and finally we have Netherlands versus Turkey. Now this is a really interesting tie because it's kind of similar to the England-Switzerland one in a way, where we have a team with the Netherlands who have been a bit underwhelming this tournament. They have also struggled in terms of breaking down low blocks. They've been quite slow in their build-up play. Questions have been asked about the team and the way they play, their style of play has been pretty poor. Although when they do play on the counter-attack, as we saw versus Romania, you know, with those 2 goals in Martin, they look really good. And they definitely have the individuals to hurt Turkey. And then Turkey, on the other hand, are very like Switzerland, where they are very rigid, very compact, very structured, or at least they weren't really in the group stages, but in the knockouts versus Austria, that's exactly what they were. 5 at the back, just sat back and were so good defensively. Every ball that came into the area, they were clearing it and trying to hit them on a counter with the likes of audible, and got their goals from corners. It wasn't necessarily pretty on the eye, but they were effective. So I think that style of play could be a big problem for the Netherlands, who I could see the Netherlands really being frustrated here by Turkey, who just sit back and hold off. Especially when you consider that Austria couldn't really create too many chances and break down the Turkey defence. Austria going forward, as we saw in the groups, are a pretty better side than Netherlands. So I do worry in terms of, are the Netherlands going to be able to break down this Turkey team? I don't know. Cody Gakpo is going to have to be huge. He has turned up this tournament and we're going to need him to turn up again. I think it's going to need something like him or a Simmons or a Marlon to just have a little bit of individual brilliance to break down the Turkey defence. I don't, to be honest, I don't think Turkey are going to threaten the Netherlands too much. I think the Netherlands defensively can cope with Turkey going forward. I know the Netherlands have been a little bit ropey defensively at this tournament, but generally, you know, they have very good defenders, and I think should be fine. Like Turkey against Austria didn't really offer too much going forward. They had some couple good breaks, but their end product wasn't good. They only scored from set pieces, and with the likes of Van Dijk, Netherlands are pretty aerially dominant. So yeah, I think this, honestly, I think Saturday could be another snooze fest. I said that about a lot. I think Spain, Germany, if I'm being real, is going to be the one which is exciting, and then the rest are just going to be a bit, you know, low scoring affairs. I hope I'm wrong, but I think they will. I could honestly see it being another 0-0, but I think the Netherlands, with all that pressure, will get past the Turkey defence, because I know Turkey's defence was great versus Austria, but generally in this tournament it's not been great. They have been susceptible to conceding chances, so I think at some point with all that pressure the Netherlands will score, and it will probably be Cody Gakpo who gets that goal, as he has been fantastic. Alright, let's play the 3 times booster on. Let's play it on France. So yeah, those are my predictions. 2-0 Spain versus Germany, 2-0 France versus Portugal, 0-0 England, Switzerland win on pens, and Netherlands 1, Turkey 0. So if we go to the bracket, we can then fill out what is my semi-finals based on those predictions. Okay, so I have Spain going through, I have France going through, I have Netherlands going through, and I have Switzerland going through. So that means I have a Spain-France semi-final. Wow, what a semi-final that's going to be. I mean, either way, even if Germany win, even if Portugal win, Germany, France, Germany, Portugal, Portugal, Spain, honestly, either one is superb, and I'm looking forward to that. But this would be blockbuster. This side of the group is very interesting because if this happens, Netherlands, Switzerland, that's really cool because we have two nations who haven't been. I mean, the Swiss have never been to a final, I'm pretty sure, but Netherlands haven't been to a final in a long time at the Euros. So, and I mean, if Turkey can win as well, imagine that Turkey-Switzerland semi, where the guaranteed team who has never won the tournament going to the final and potentially could have a new winner, or we could have England-Netherlands, which again would be really cool. I would like that matchup a lot, and yeah, obviously as an England fan I would like that. England-Turkey, I mean that would be some spectacle in terms of the fans, that would be pretty crazy. But yeah, I think we're getting Netherlands-Switzerland, Spain-France, which would be pretty cool. And I mean, some of the narratives, right? You could have Switzerland versus France, which is a repeat. You know, Switzerland knocked out France at the last Euros, and then they face each other again. You could have France and Netherlands as well. The two teams who met in the group stages meet in the final after a 0-0 as well. Spain, Netherlands, repeat of a World Cup final. Can Netherlands get their revenge against Spain? You know, other scenarios you can have England versus France potentially. Obviously France knocked out England at the last World Cup. England, can they get their revenge? Germany versus England, I mean, the history behind that is pretty mad. Yeah, you could have Turkey, Germany, which would be, oh my god, the fans in that game would be absolutely crazy. And you know, these two nations are very